But, my dude, Lewis. Everyone that goes to a fight gym thinks that they have a fighter mentality. You know, you walk in there and it's like, oh, fuck, I'm a big dog.
Yeah.
What actually makes the warriors in the gym? Just bring it a bit close to your mouth, brother.
A bit like this, a
Yeah, a bit there, yeah. But the guys that are like fucking elite all share a very similar mentality. I'll give you an example from military days. There's the analogy of like, of 100 men, 9 of them are going to do most of the fighting. There's only going to be 1 that's a warrior. And that was really obvious when I was in that, like, there's a lot of guys that sort of just cannon fodder.
Yeah.
9 of them sick. Those guys are good operators. And then there's 1 where it's like, that guy's fucking jet warrior. Do you ever notice that kind of thing in fight gyms and in your crowd?
Definitely. The fight gym that I'm at now, there's more than 1 of them. Mm-hmm. There's 3, 4 of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not saying that, like, you know, there's only 1 in every gym.
Yeah, no.
But like, there's a handful where you go, those dudes are dialed. Like, they're the guys.
Yeah. I'll say with the type of person that you're talking about, they have this, at least the ones that I've talked to have this, like, they're very sure of themselves. Mm-hmm. They know what they want before they've even got it. Mm-hmm. They've got a goal in mind, and there's someone that is willing to do whatever it takes in order to get there. That's the big thing I notice about all of them. Whenever I have a conversation with these types of people, every time I get locked into a conversation, I leave and I'm like, fuck, like, that is, you know, I leave feeling like I've gained something for it, or I leave feeling very, very G'd up. And it's just the way that they talk, not just about themselves, but about the process and being able to do stuff. It's like, of course they're gonna do well. It's not even a question. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna try and train a little bit more. You know, I'm gonna try and do well in this fight. It's like, no, I'm training to do this. I'm going to make it in the UFC. I'm going to. It's a sure thing. It's a complete certainty. So I think it's just the belief and trust in themselves. That's what separates them. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the answer I was looking for.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, fuck. Like, just saying that, I'm like, yes, I know guys like that.
Yeah.
Whether it's fighters or just I think you meet these people too in life. Like, you stroll along. I like using the analogy of, like, most people are NPCs.
Yeah.
Right? Like, most of them. And every now and then you meet a player character and you're like, oh, hey, man, you're different. Like,
you know what? That's actually so funny because I was writing a birthday card for one of my mates back home. He's a online coach back home, and he's a aspiring bodybuilder as well. And he is one of them guys that we'll hop on the phone twice a week. Very, very close friend. Played rugby when we were growing up together. Mm-hmm. And every time I'm on the phone with him, it's that sort of conversation. Mm-hmm. And he's one of the hardest workers I ever know. And in this card, I was trying to write down, like, what, you know, it's his birthday. I'm trying to write down, like, the type of person he is, not only to me as a friend, but, like, the type of person I feel like he is to everybody else, right? And when I was doing that, I sort of came at this conclusion, right, is there's 2 types of people. Mm-hmm. And I tried to put it a little bit nice. I typed on NPC at the start, and I was a bit like, oh, do I want to be that sort of judgmental, or do I want to be that weird? But
yes.
Yeah. So I put, let's just put it in your words.
When you're in this room, you're allowed to slog opinions.
Fuck, right, okay.
Left, right, and center. I want to know it.
Okay. So there's the NPC, right? And they're just very content with what they have. You know, they're happy living a life that, you know, maybe their aspirations aren't too high. They'll get through life satisfied. I guess they'll just get through life, okay? They'll get a job, they'll get a mortgage, they'll get a house, they'll sit down, they'll be comfortable.
Which is all completely fine, by the way.
Absolutely. And
that's what I mean by being judgmental. If that's what you like, dude.
Absolutely.
Love that.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you.
100%.
Because also, what I think you're going to lead with can be fucking lonely.
Yeah.
It can be hard. It can fucking suck. So continue. Yes.
Yeah. And then the other one that I put is then there's the exceptional people. And the exceptional people are the ones that are never content with what they've got. They always strive to do better, do more, push themselves. They're competitive. They want more out of life. It might be an ego, that they've got an ego, which isn't necessarily a bad thing either.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, then they make more mistakes, which is another big one. I said they might even make more mistakes than I guess the NPC. But the thing and they're very sure of themselves. That's what separates them. So you've got the NPCs, you've got the exceptional people. And that's what I put on his card. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Nathan.
Hell yeah. What do you think you are? Or what do you try to be?
I want to be an exceptional person. Another thing that I feel like separates the two is the exceptional people are the ones that do exactly what they say they're going to do.
Mm.
And they do exactly what they're going to say they're going to do when nobody's looking as well.
Mm.
And I think that's the main personality trait that separates them. I feel like you can sometimes get people that can play themselves up a bit when they're in a crowd or when they're with friends. And their friends might see them as a hard worker. Their friends might see them as someone who gets shit done, right? But as soon as they get home, it's like a completely different person's there. And it doesn't really make that real.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I feel like if you truly want to be that exceptional person, if you truly want to be that high agency person, that's a trait.
Well,
we're
gonna lead under that.
Then you've got to be willing to do that stuff outside of being with your friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I want to come back to, I think, something that leads on to what we spoke about earlier.
Yeah.
Is like, you talk about these people that are player characters and the warriors in the gym. They're very confident of themselves, right? Confidence comes through preparation. It's something that you've talked about before. Elaborate on that for me. Well, how do you do that?
I think, so take what I'm doing, right? I've been in sport for, since I was little. I was a group of rugby and then eventually went into fighting. And whenever a fight first gets announced, right, there's always that sense of, it is fear, right? It's always that sense of, oh, shit, like, was I right in taking this fight? Like, am I going to do well? It's that sort of, the voice in your head that's telling you all these things. And I found, and I learned this from one of my first coaches, guy called Alex Enland. He was a Cage Warriors world champion back in the UK. And he used to say that whenever he was going into his fights, whether it be like a world championship fight, whether it just be a regular fight, as long as he knew that he'd done all the sessions in the gym, all the reps, he watched all the footage on his opponent, done everything that was necessary in order to prepare for that one moment, then he had the utmost confidence that he was going to be able to go out there and perform. And the fear that was at the back of his head, and I guess for me now, the fear that's at the back of my head, with every training session, with every time I watch the footage, I just know that's one step closer to performing, and that just gives me even more confidence. So I think as long as you're preparing, you're doing the reps, you're doing everything that you need to do in order to get out there on that moment and show everyone your thing, then you should have full confidence. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there is an aspect of, there's things that you can control and there's things that you can't control, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you just have to worry about the things you can't control. You've got to worry about them training sessions. You've got to worry about showing up. You've got to worry about, like I said, watching the footage, writing shit down. When you get in there, you don't know what the opponent's going to do. They could do some complete random shit that you're just not prepared for. Like I fought last year in Perth, and I was like fully confident going in. My opponent comes out with a bloody flying knee to my head. Something I could not control that he was going to do, right? Flying knee to the face completely took me by surprise.
Did you catch it with your face?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I caught it with my face. I took him down on the end of it, right? But that's sort of shit you can't control, so you can't let that get in the way of your preparation, right? Mm-hmm. That's quite funny, actually. So yeah, as long as you do the preparation, the confidence will follow. That's what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely. I definitely resonate with that. Like before big shoots, where like especially ones where there's a lot of money on the line,
yeah,
and other people depend on me getting it right. Like, you got people there that I have to pay them, or they're being paid by the client, and it's like, sick, if I fuck this up, like we got to do this all again, and then it's gonna all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't sleep for like a good sort of 2 weeks or however long it takes, where I'm like, fuck, all right, recce, make sure I'm dialed, make sure all this pre-prep is dialed.
Yeah.
But then the 2 days before, I sleep so good.
Yeah.
Like, and that's when I know where I'm like, cool, I've done everything that's within my control. Like, there's nothing else I can do.
Yeah.
I've really juiced that stone. And then it's like, okay, cool. Well, it is what it is on the day. If shit fucks up, it's like, well, I've done my bit.
Yeah.
You know, and just letting it go.
Just got to let your body take over.
Yeah.
I was saying this, we had a couple of lads fighting in a Muay Thai amateur bout, and one of the lads, it was his first fight. And I could tell in the warm-up area he was quite nervous. It was actually quite interesting being on the other end, being on like a coach's perspective and seeing him getting warm and being like, and I just went to him, I went, listen, mate, listen, I can tell you're nervous. I went, but, and he worked especially hard for this fight. He lost like 6 kilos for it. And I was like, listen, you've lost 6 kilos for this. You're training like a fucking animal. I said, you're the one who decided to do this. I went, you've done absolutely everything. I've seen you training. You've done absolutely everything that you need to do in order to prepare for this fight. All that you've got to do now is just let your body take over. Don't let the words and the words in your head bring in doubt. Get that out of you. Let your body take over. Let your skills take over. Go on there and just release all that energy. Mm-hmm. And he was like, oh, that's such good advice. And he went out there and won. It was great. It was brilliant.
Sick,
yeah.
Man.
I'm not saying it's because of the words that I said, but I do think there's so much truth into that. Just like accepting whatever will happen is going to happen, right? And it's going to be a byproduct of the shit that you've done beforehand.
Mm-hmm. Congrats on your win the other week, though.
Thank you, man.
By the way, that's sick. And I think something that people don't like. You see fighters, right? And you're like, they're fearless. They just don't give a fuck. They're so tough, and they're just going in there and they just fuck each other up, and there's no fear. And then you come out and you hear fear.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
You're a walking weapon, like fucking fear.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with that? I'm sure it's different for everyone too. So how do you specifically deal with that?
So the way that I deal with the fear is I would turn it into energy. I try and flip it on its head and turn it into energy, right? I'm never scared. Like, the fear doesn't come from the fear of the person that I'm fighting, right? It's nothing to do with the person. It's nothing to do with anything like that. The fear comes from the fear of losing. Like I said, when the fight first gets announced, you've got it in the head, you know that you've got to go out there and perform. You know that you're performing in front of your friends. You know that your family are watching. I'm lucky to have a great support system. So, a lot of people are going to want to watch me. And it's the fear of fucking up in front of them, right?
Mm-hmm. The social pressure
than
the like physical danger pressure.
Yeah, exactly. But that's one of those things where it just comes to that acceptance. Mm-hmm. Like, I chose to do this. I'm doing this because I want to. I'm doing this for me. I'm not doing this for anybody else. I'm a competitive person. I love competition. This is, like, in my opinion, the highest form of competition you can do. But from a physical side, obviously, but also from a mental side as well. It's just you and someone else locked in the fucking cage. Like, Christ, that's mental. But like I said, I've got to accept it. And with that acceptance, that fear, them nerves, they all turn to energy. And I can put that energy into my training. I can put that energy into my performance. I think if you didn't have any fear going into these sorts of things, it would actually be quite wrong, because you'd have nothing to give you that little bit of a boost, right? When I'm sparring, when I'm practicing, if I'm half-arsing it, then I'm obviously not scared enough, right? If I'm just going through the motions, if I'm not doing things with intent, then there's something missing there. And I think for a lot of that, it is the fear. If you don't have the fear, it's not going to push you that extra mile. It's not going to make you do that extra rep. It's not going to make you think about that extra bit of footage that you haven't seen. It forces you along the process, even if you sometimes don't want to be. Yeah. If I'm tired, it's that fear that makes me go, oh shit, no, I can't afford to slack here. I've got a fight coming up. And as soon as you realize that, then you actually start to enjoy, isn't the word of the fear, but you actually start to embrace it a little bit. Yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, no, for sure. And something else that you said before, which we did talk about a couple of months ago now, is you talked about like start working now for the life that you want, right? And I think that comes down to what we spoke about, which is agency.
Yes.
What do you see in your clients or just even out there or your peers? What is low agency stuff that they do, and what is high agency actions they do?
Okay. Let's start with high agency.
Actually, you know what?
Go on.
First, for those who don't know, let's define what high agency or what agency is.
Yeah, okay. I want your definition because I feel like you're the one that introduced it to me.
Okay.
And I would love, because I done a video on this on my YouTube a few weeks ago, and I feel like I explained it quite well, but because you're the person that, I guess, introduced me to it, I'm interested to see what you would define it as.
Mm-hmm. I put agency as like the ability to have a thought and bring it into reality as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Like trying to put that as a simplest way. Like there's lots of other things you could say about it, but it's like, I want this thing to happen, and you action and make it happen as fast as humanly possible.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, and that's exactly how I would define it as well. And the people that I find clients-wise that have the highest agency are the ones that, let's say someone come a personal trainer as well, like, let's say I get someone in and they want to lose weight. You get hundreds of people like that coming into the gym. So many of them that come in, it's the same conversation. I'm a little bit heavy. I really want to lose weight. It's like, great. This is what you need to do. You know, you give them the tools. I'd say 65% of the time, they'll come back and they'll make no progress, which is absolutely fine, right? There's nothing wrong with that, and that's why we're here to help, right? But you'll very rarely get that person that I would say they're that exceptional person, right?
The dream clients too, as far as PT clients go.
Dream clients, I mean, it gets tossed around. Yes, they are dream clients in terms of you can get results from them. But there is a beauty to, you say, the people that come in and maybe they don't get the results straight away. There is a beauty to that, to sort of teaching them how to become that high agency person.
Oh, you know what? You're right, actually. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
With high agency, right, I feel like when you first meet someone, they've either got it or they don't have it, right? They get shit done straight away or they don't. They procrastinate about it. They're a bit lax about it. They might say that they want to do something in their head, but when it comes to actually doing the work in order to get there, it sort of dissuades them and it'll take them forever. But I feel like you can still take that person. You can find out more about them. You can find out, because half the job of a personal trainer is being a therapist, right?
Yeah.
Like, it is like,
oh, fuck, man. From watching Jamie, it's 90% of the job. Like, Jesus.
Shit, bro, the shit I know about some people's personal lives is absolutely crazy, right?
Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy. And I think it's just because it's that third space that they come into, where, and you know for yourself, when you start training, you've got the endorphins flowing through you.
100.
Your inhibitions are like put down a little bit more because you're willing to speak more straight away. So the stuff that people let out is stuff that they wouldn't let out normally, right? So you get to learn more about people, stuff that, you know, you might not even, you're not supposed to know, learn about them. But when you understand them a little bit more, you get to an understand of why they're not this high agency person, right? Sometimes it's a lot of fear. Sometimes it's a lot of doubt in themselves. Some of them have some like traumas that they're dealing with from the past, right? And, you know, we're not qualified to talk about that type of shit. But you can teach them how to get through that. You can, you know, offload them as like external people, therapists, all that type of stuff. And you can send them resources like how you sent me that high agency document. That was awesome, right? I read that and felt lit up when I was reading it, right? And
it's good though, right? Like, yeah, I'll put that in the notes because like
do.
it's fucking exceptional.
You read that, it's 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And I feel like I got so much out of that 30 minutes that I can apply in my own life. And this is what I feel like good coaches, good personal trainers can do for their clients that are like this. They can they can G them up. They can give them that sort of, they can have that reverse charisma. That's another thing we were talking about, where they leave the gym feeling good about themselves, and they go back and maybe they think to themselves, no, maybe I can't be that type of person that gets shit done. Maybe I can lose this 5 kilos of weight. That's preventing me from living the life I want to live. And slowly over time, they can turn into that high agency person. So yes, ideal client is the one that comes in. You get a nice transformation off them. The high agency, they get shit done straight away. They do the process really, really smooth, but they're in the door, out the door. So a lot of the times, them ones are the ones that are going to stick with you for ages. Whereas you get someone in, and I've had a client like this really recently. He came in, wanted to lose, he was 150 kilos, and now he's down to 100. Dude. And he started off as that person, a lot of energy, right? Wanted to lose the weight, but just didn't have the tools available to him in order to do it. He's been up and down all his life, like really, really fit one minute and then really out of shape the next minute. And there was something there where, like, it was a bit of doubt in himself. It was not having the education and the tools necessary in order to get there. And now it's been like half a year of him just absolutely killing it. And that's something I love to do for people. Like, like I would say he's a high agency person now.
Well, see, actually, you know what? I think as you're speaking there, what you've described is like you are who you surround yourself with in proximity. So, and it's like teaching people to be higher agency, exercising, right? Yeah. Exercising and being in shape is a high agency trait.
Yeah.
Right? And when you're just not around it, or you're not around people that are high agency, you don't even know what it is.
Yeah.
Whether you know the term agency or not, you don't know what it's like to like put in the work, be a killer, because you're people that you're around, they might be, more slobbish or just don't care or whatever. Whereas you go and see a trainer, or you put yourself in an environment where you're around people that have higher agency, and you go, oh, this is what it's like to do that. Okay. And then because you're now in that circle, you're in that proximity, and you know what it looks like, you can begin to bring in those traits.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're not consuming it, whether it's online or you're not in that environment in your natural life, you don't know what you don't know. So I think like the being taught or just putting yourself into an environment like that, becoming closer to high agency is a way to develop agency.
Yes, it's a good point. It's solid.
Okay, I think you understand what like a low agency people and traits are. Of the people that are high agency, what do they do? What are the traits?
If they've got a problem in their life, something that comes up or a struggle, they don't procrastinate on it. They'll take a few days and they'll have a solution straight away. Now, whether that solution works or not, that's another question, right? But
I think it's what they just give a go at having at the solution, and then if it doesn't work,
exactly,
do another one.
Exactly. Yeah. They want to try, fail, and then try again. And that sort of failure side of things, they're not particularly scared of it. They don't necessarily want to do it. No one likes to fail or lose, right? But try something, doesn't work. Okay, let's come up with something else in order to get past that or get around that obstacle. Low agency, they're on the opposite end, right? You come to them with a problem, they're like, okay, let me think about it for a week. The week goes by. You remember this thing? Oh, sorry, I'll get back to you tomorrow. It's like that constant chase up. Another thing, high agency, I guess another example, right, that I've seen with people who have quite high agency, right? They're the types of people that, say you've got a friendship, right, or a relationship, and let's say you never really particularly see this person, okay? Someone of high agency, especially if it's a relationship that they value, they're the types of people that, even though you might not see them on a regular basis, they're always sort of checking up on you every so often. A few months go by, you get a little message from like, hey, how you doing, right? And it's because they want to continue that relationship, right? They're not just letting it dwindle and die and fade away. Even though you don't see that person often, they might text you that, let's meet up for a coffee. Let's do this, let's do that, right? And I feel that's a really big personality trait I see in them. Yeah. Speaking
of that, made me think about something that happened to me just recently. one of the boys that we were in military with, like, I haven't spoken to him since we left.
Yeah.
But, like, we were, in the same friendship circle. We deployed together in the same platoon. And he recently had a really tragic push bike accident. And it is tragic because this dude, he was a Ironman athlete. He was a sports scientist and lectured at uni. Like, he was an active dude. And he was out for a cycle and now he's paraplegic. Like, fucking tragic. And when we... he's doing good now, by the way.
Okay.
Yes, totally life-changing, but he's a high-agency dude.
Yeah.
So he's taken it upon, he's not going to let it ruin his life. But we all hears about this, and group chat starts. Let's get a fundraiser happening. 100K in a couple of days.
Wow.
From all the people... throughout army that we knew, from different groups and stuff like that donating, which is awesome. Then another chat comes up between probably the highest agency person I know, my best mate Adam, who's SAS at the moment. He's like, "Oi, you want to go see him?" I'm like, "Fucking oath, let's go."
Yeah.
Even if it's just you and me, we'll put it in the chat. Anyone who wants to come, more than welcome. But even if it's just us, we'll go see him because he's in Adelaide.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah, fucking oath." And so me, Adam, and two other of the lads in Adelaide having a great time with them. Like, these are the high agency brothers that I'm fucking...
Yeah.
That if I'm in a hole somewhere and I get kidnapped, I got one phone call.
Yeah.
I'm going to call one of these three guys and they're going to come get me.
That's cool. Yeah.
I think that's even in that document of like a high agency person... You're in prison in a foreign country and you get one phone call and who are you calling? That really shrinks the like people that you think about in your head right down.
Yeah.
And like I think about that right now and it's like probably 3 people I would call. And then one of them is like this is the first one for sure.
And it makes you think of all them people in your life that are hiding. That one question, like you said, narrows it down. And then you can think of the other traits that then people have. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, fuck yeah, of course. Of course they're high agency. And that reminds me, I was at a party on Saturday. It was me and Abs there. And it was a guy from the gym. It was his 30th. And it was me, Abs, and 2 of our other mates that went. And we were the only 4 that knew each other, right? Mm-hmm. We didn't know anyone else. There's about 50 people at this dude's party. It was great. And we ended up talking to a few of the guests, like mingling. And then we ended up talking to this other couple. And... they said, and you know when you just meet someone you just know, like
you meet another player character.
Yeah. And I met this guy, and it was his wife, and we ended up talking. I was like, oh yeah, so what do you do? He's like, oh, I own a travel business, right? He didn't elaborate any further than that. I was like, all right, that's cool. Like, how'd you get into that? And eventually I asked, oh well, how do you know Nathan? He was like, oh yeah, we grew up together. I was like, oh great, like, so where are you coming from? He went, oh yeah, I'm traveling 10 hours by car just to make it to this birthday. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I live like 10 hours inland. And I just was like, I was blown away by it. But when I got back home, I was like, shit, that's one of them dudes. That's one of them guys. That's one of them guys. And every single thing that he said backed that up as well, right? He's got his own business. His wife's got her own business. He's saving up for multiple different things. He was wearing nice clothes, right? But he even said to me, like, it wasn't even a second thought. Like, he wasn't trying to big himself up, right? Mm-hmm. He literally just said, it isn't even a second thought me coming here because I'll never miss this for the world because he's one of my closest friends. Wasn't a second thought in his head. Like, there was nothing that could stop him from getting to that party that day. No matter how busy he was, no matter what he had going on, he was going to make it to that party. And again, I just thought in my head, that is one of them guys. That is one of them dudes. It's great. It was great. That's so interesting. There's a consistent thing here, isn't there?
There is. That's what I mean. Like, because once you, like, hopefully, if you've listened to this and you take in what we just said about agency, you can't not see this now. Yeah. Like, it's really obvious when you're walking around. You go, oh, yous are not the same, or you're one of those dudes, or whatever.
Yeah.
Or you see someone do something, you go, fuck, that's a high agency brother over there.
Yeah. Bro, I was writing, when you sent me the questions, I was on my computer, I was writing them all out, and then I was trying to do, like, bullet points. I was writing loads of stuff down, and then Abs came up to me, she went, what are you doing? I went, oh, I've got to prepare for this, I've never done anything like it before. She went, you're not going in with notes, are you? I went, nah. She went, well, like, why are you writing all this down? She said, it's a podcast, it's a conversation. Like, just do whatever say whatever comes to your head. Like, the conversation will flow better than you trying to remember stuff off the top of your head and being like a bit of a robot. I was like, oh, you're so right. So I just stopped writing bullet points.
Well, I think right to a degree though, because like if I was just to send it to you, and this goes with anything that I like, and you don't think about it and you rock up, I can almost guarantee it'll suck. Very few people, unless you are very either used to thinking about whatever the topic's about, or you're used to talking on the spot kind of thing. It's not a natural thing to do.
Yeah.
So having some pre-preparation before something that, before anything, I think is really important. And like, for example, your prep should be on the scale of the opportunity, right? So for this, like, it is low stakes. If we don't like this, I can just delete it. It doesn't matter. And like, this isn't like, going on the UFC or anything like that.
Yeah.
So the only prep is like sick, maybe write them out, but actually have a think about what we're going to talk about, and that's all that's required.
Yeah.
Whereas, when I have a meeting with a client, that could be like a really high potential job. It's like, okay, cool. This isn't something I go in with like, cool, I'm just going to look on their website 15 minutes before and then jump on a call or go on a meeting. It's like, sick. I'm going to do 2 hours of prep. I'm going to find out their fucking blood type, get really dialed. So then when you rock up, again, that thing of like, I'm prepared. This sort of goes the way that it goes. All the information that I've got then for that conversation, you see them go, holy shit. No one's ever this prepared for this meeting or this opportunity or anything like that. And it's not to be like chauvinistic or anything like that. It's just to like, this person is serious, and it just stacks the odds in your favor that there's going to be a favorable outcome because you're prepared for it.
It's a good point, actually. That's really good. Yeah, I totally agree with that. And for me, it was more, I've got so many things that go around in my head all the time, and I think about this type of stuff a lot, right? Mm-hmm. Like, especially with my YouTube, like trying to push my thoughts onto that. If I can just put my thoughts on the paper or on the computer, whether it's like a few sentences or whether it's a paragraph, I do feel like that helps a lot. It helps me sort of zone in on what I'm actually wanting to convey across. And it makes sure that when I am actually talking, it's not just a bunch of things jumbled together.
You know what I've noticed is that good thinkers are usually good writers.
Yeah.
So if you can articulate your thoughts in your head down onto a written form, you're usually pretty dialed in the way that you're thinking.
Yeah.
Whether you're right or wrong, or whatever, but like what you think and talk about, and you can articulate in good writing.
Yeah.
There's like a handful of writers that I really like, where both their style of writing, but also when you read it, it's like, fuck, that was really good. Like Alex Hormozi is a really good example of that. Like you read his tweets and they're only so small, but they hit you so hard because he's obviously thought a lot about it. He's lived the experience and now can very simply articulate that in just a tweet's length.
Yeah.
Doesn't even need to be a long form thing. And even his long form things are really good. So yeah, if you're a good writer, and then usually, not always, but usually if you're a good writer, you can then be a good speaker. Because then you're also not someone that just faffs about with like filler words and not being able to have their thoughts condensed.
Yeah.
Whereas again, Hormozi is just a great example. You listen to him speak, it's like, cool, I totally get what this brother's talking about.
It's clear.
Crisp. Yeah. Absolutely. That's a good word.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's something I've been trying to work on a lot recently. Not talking to filler words. I nearly said there. Mm-hmm. Being able to articulate my thoughts. Mm-hmm. It's such a big thing. And going back to the topic of high agency people, the people that I've talked to that I would consider high agency, all of them can do that. Mm-hmm. All of them have a real sense of who they are, but are able to convey that person through the words that they're saying. Mm-hmm. And it's so noticeable. Mm-hmm. And it's something, I think it's just a skill in itself to be able to do that. And it's something that I really strive to be better at.
Yes.
100%.
Likewise.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think, for me, it's really funny. Go back and watch like the early YouTube videos. And I'm like, man, you suck. But it's good. You got to document the journey. Like coming back to the agency, I just think it's such an unreal thing, and just such an important topic to think about to improve your life if you're trying to do something. I was talking to my brother about this, where I want to go with like a podcast and how I want the images to look, the thumbnails, what I want to call it, because I'm still on the edge of what to name it.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Luke, you can't launch. You don't put on anything yet until you've got that all dialed in." It's like, no, that's fucking around.
Yeah.
We can work it out as we go. It's better to have something going on. As you know, it's not going to detract from my brand. It's good enough to get started now, and then we can develop it as we go. The low agency thing would be like, no, I want to make sure the name's correct. Got to make sure all the font's correct.
Yeah.
Got to fucking make sure I got all the too long.
Yeah.
Let's just go now, and we can make it better as we go. And to be honest, it makes a better story because like you go from like, oh, look at the start where they come from, and like now there's this cool production, or we've got really awesome guests, or whatever it is like that. Yes.
Well, that plays into, I think there's another question that he sent me. How do you deal with failure, and how do you deal with losing? And I think a very high agency thing to do is, obviously, like I said, you don't want to fail, you don't want to lose, but when it does happen, you take it as an opportunity, you take it as a lesson to get better. And you can take some things away from however you failed, apply it so that next time that one thing doesn't happen again. But obviously something else will pop up later on. Another failure will pop up, and that's just another tweak or another adjustment. And that's exactly what you just said there.
You know, I think it's even Elon Musk. It's like entrepreneurship, and this can be applied to anything. It's like the ability to fail repeatedly until you get the result you want, or something like that. Like, I'm paraphrasing, but something like that. And I think with someone that is high agency, like you can see that they're just willing to fail, however long it takes to make the thing. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts from Damon Senra about James Dyson. So like the guy who made the vacuum cleaners. And he had like 5,000 and something failures of like models before coming up with the actual Dyson that we know now. And like just going upstairs and crying himself to sleep, and his kids just seeing him as a failure, and just, you know, that's a long time, a lot of time being shit.
Yeah.
To then eventually having this multi-billion-dollar company, which like, if we could just take a little piece of that, what we're doing, you know, like we're going to be okay.
Yeah.
Whatever we're trying to achieve is going to happen.
Yeah. Would you say that there is equally something very high agency about the ability to let go and the ability to stop what you're doing? As in,
yes.
Yep. Okay.
Knowing when to quit is also, or whether you know, if you don't want to use the word quit, when to pivot, when to, okay, this thing isn't working, let's move on to the next thing. It's definitely a high thing. And letting go, you know, a low agency trait would be to holding on to things.
Yeah.
Like usually that doesn't serve anyone anything.
Yeah.
So why would you, like, a low agency thing is to do something that's fucking doesn't serve you. A high agency thing would be to, cool, this does not serve me, let's move on.
And I think that's something that people can make a mistake on, right? It's they hear the stories about the Dyson. They hear the stories about all these entrepreneurs who just stuck at something for so long and kept on doing it until eventually they found success. And that can get twisted in a way where they feel like if they just stick with what they're doing, they stick with that entrepreneur. Oh, come on, help me out here. Entrepreneurial.
Entrepreneur, yes.
Venture, right?
Well, people, because like even entrepreneurs, it's got such a twisted fucking term nowadays. So it's like people just like to use that word to make them sound like they're important or doing something.
Yes.
Where I totally agree with what you're coming to.
Yeah.
Like, there's a difference between continuing to do something until it works, and and this is even like a low intellect thing of like doing the same thing and expecting a different result.
Yeah.
Like, that's retarded.
Yeah, it is.
It's like the high agency and high intellect thing. You know, someone that has a lot of knowledge, and then there's someone who's intelligent.
Yes.
Knowledge, you just know a lot of things. Intelligence, you know how to apply them. And someone with low intellect does the same thing and expects a different result. And someone with high intellect does something and learns very quickly and does something different to get the result they want.
Yeah. Great. I learned that funnily enough, didn't learn that from a book, didn't learn it in that sort of aspect, learn it from jiu-jitsu. My coach used to say,
dude, that's immediate feedback.
It is. We get in jiu-jitsu, and people who do jiu-jitsu will know this. You'll have dudes in the gym that have tape around their fingers, or they've got tape around the toes, but mainly the fingers, right? And they'll always complain about their hands being fucked up, their fingers being fucked up. And one of the lads in my old gym back home used to say, like, oh, my fingers are fucked. Like, I don't know what to do. And he asked my coach, what can I do? And my coach said, the only reason why your fingers are fucked is because you're holding onto someone's gi, you're holding onto their jacket, or you're holding onto a grip that is too strong for you to hold on to. And you're using that much energy and that much stress to hold on to it, that it's just tearing up the ligaments on your hands. It's fucking up your hands. He says, sometimes you just got to let go, and you'll be in maybe a worse position for a split second, but you'll be able to work back into a better position rather than just holding on to something that's clearly not there for you, and it clearly isn't going to work out for you. And then after the fact, you look at your fingers in the room, you've got to tape them up. And like, I was like, oh shit, I can use this in so many different things other than just this.
Dude,
yeah.
You know
like,
what?
wow.
That's a really interesting question. Is like, what's something, whether in any of the fighting disciplines if you train, give me. We'll keep it to two.
Go on.
2 key lessons that you've taken from fighting to apply to places in your life that have nothing to do with fighting, but they're very valuable lessons.
Okay. The first lesson I would say that was really important is it's good to have ego, but you've got to be able to control it. Mm-hmm. Me and you wouldn't be here if we didn't have an ego, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's true. We wouldn't be here if we didn't have an ego. We wouldn't push to do cool things and do cool shit if we didn't have an ego. But you've got to be able to control it, like what I said. You see so many people, you can talk to some people that they let their ego run rampant, right? And it actually makes them believe that they can do something that they're clearly not ready for. And they can push them to do stuff really rashly, right? They can jump into things without preparing for it. They can jump into things without thinking about it too much. Your ego it's a superpower. It'll push you to do more and more and more, but it's also a hindrance. You can't let it run rampant in your head. Never think too highly of yourself. Always expect the worst as well. I think that's something that's really helped me in my fights, and I guess just everything else in general. You can't just think that everything's going to go really, really well all the time, because you can't control everything. Again, similar to the conversation that we had before. Go in with confidence. Let that ego take you places. Let it tell you to go in for that fight. Let it tell you to go in for that job interview, to pursue that hobby that you want to do. But make sure that in the back of your head, you're aware of what the worst case scenario is, and let that drive you to prepare properly.
I think to even condense that, I was like, let ego be the driver, but let work be the preparation.
I love that. That's brilliant. Yeah,
you know, 100%. Because I totally agree with that. Like, people's like, don't have an ego. It's like, no, you can have a fucking ego.
Yeah.
But don't let the ego be the prep.
Yes.
Don't let the ego be the work for something. You actually have to have that as well and do the preparation. That's something I like, because I feel the tide turning. I hope it's turning, of people like, don't be aggressive, like especially to men, like don't be aggressive, or don't be angry, all this kind of stuff. And I'm not saying to walk around being an angry person, but something that the army definitely taught me is like controlled aggression as a man is extremely valuable.
Yeah.
Like uncontrolled aggression is useless. That's exactly like, that's the ego. That's just like fucking letting your energy be sprayed over too big a surface. Whereas if you can dial that thing in, that aggression, that drive onto something, it makes you a very dangerous person. And I don't mean dangerous necessarily as like physically you're a weapon, but like you're gonna get shit done.
Yeah. You've got that thing in the back of your head, like when you're talking to your friends, when you're with your family, you can be that calm, passive person. You can separate yourself. But when it's time to train, when it's time to get shit done, that's when that little switch goes off in the back of your head. And it's not like you can become a different person. You don't. You're still the same person, but you just allow that other thing to take over a little bit more. You allow that energy, like what you said, to kickstart, and that will let you continue down that path.
I've got 3 more for you.
Go on, then.
Someone working for yourself. What's the hardest thing about that?
So here's the thing. I'm working for myself at the minute, but I'm also employed, right? So I've got the best of both worlds going on at the minute. I feel the biggest challenge about working for yourself is, it's only really a challenge if you see it as a challenge, is having to rely on yourself for everything. When you're employed, you've got that sense of stability. You've got that blanket, that safety blanket underneath you, where you know that even if you failed, it's going to catch you and you're going to be all right. If you're just purely working for yourself, you have to build the foundations yourself. I don't know who said this, but it really stuck me one time when I was fully self-employed back home, was you can only fall as far as the foundations that you've built up. And that's the biggest challenge, right? Or you can only fall as far as the systems that you built up. It's one of the two. I think I like the word systems more. I think that's a better word. The challenge is building a system that works for you, that's unique for you, and a one that if you do fail, you're able to catch yourself and keep on going after it. It's completely individual. It's completely unique to who you are, and
because when you were in the UK, you were a bouncer and a PT, and fighting.
Yeah. So,
right.
Yeah.
Fucking
I told you that. Yeah. I was. I left. I want to be a rugby player. That's first and foremost. That was my number one thing from when I was 8 up to 18, 19 years old. That was locked in. I'm going to be a rugby player. Nothing can stop me. 100% confidence. No way it could fail, right? So as soon as we left school, I went to college. The college was part of the rugby team.
Yep.
PT qualification came alongside that. So I was sort of working in the gym half-heartedly. Not really putting all me time and effort into it because I had this rugby. Signed on as a semi-professional, and then suddenly realised that I wasn't going to make it. It wasn't going to happen.
Why? What was that trigger?
I had a conversation with my coach. I was going through a bit of a transitioning period. It was that sort of 17, 18, 19 years old, where I'd been doing this one thing for so long and been putting so much energy into it. I attached my whole identity to it. All of me, all of who I was I'm going to be this rugby player. And as time went on, I had put a lot of pressure on myself to get to the places that I wanted to be. But I think the reality looking back at it now is I just didn't, maybe I was falling out of love with the sport. Maybe I was ready for something else. And I just ended up reflecting in my training. I became someone who was quite aggressive in training, was working too hard, was, getting too argumentative with my teammates. And it's because I put all this pressure on myself to do well. And eventually it accumulated in me having a conversation with my coach, being like, do you reckon I'll make it as a professional? And he went, honestly, no. But you've got one season left. You should see it through. And I just went, nah, I'm done. And I left. And suddenly, that's my whole identity being completely ripped from me. And that's when I was sort of this place where I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I decided, my dad he owned his own security company, doorman business. So I decided to start working on the doors. So I started doing that. I started doing my personal training a little bit more. And then I eventually threw myself into fighting, into MMA. And I started doing that. And I saw that as the second sort of outlet for me. So I had all these things going on at once. And that's sort of the position that I put myself in after rugby.
Wild.
Yeah.
True. What was your position?
Prop in rugby league. I was 95 kilos. It's crazy.
95?
Yeah, bro,
Holy shit, you would have been massive.
I was like a little barrel. It was crazy.
Holy
it was crazy.
fuck.
Yeah. But again, another part was like, I wasn't as skilled or as talented as I thought I was.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if anybody asks like what type of player I was, everyone would say, all my team would say I was the type of person that would go 100% all the time. Very physical, very aggressive in my style of play, but my hands were shit. Like, didn't have
You're a
good
prop.
hands. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But just them little things that I didn't have, and my training reflected that I didn't put the energy into the things that I should have when I was practicing, and I just wasn't. Again, it's about that letting go, right? I just wasn't as skilled as I should have been.
Well, see, I hate to maybe put the plant to the seed, but it's too late now. It's too many years gone.
Go on.
But I've been around quite a few high-level coaches.
Yeah.
And I've asked them, and who have trained champions, it's like, what do you see in athletes that are going to make it, right? And all of them have said the same thing, where it's the ones that are really naturally gifted actually don't, because it come too easy for them. It's the ones that they're about 80% there, but they got to work for that extra 20%.
Yeah.
Are the ones that go on to be elite. There's very few that just have that incredible natural ability, always have had the natural ability. Like, obviously that still exists, right? It's the ones that are like, maybe they weren't that in the younger age or whatever, and they had to really work for it. So like, maybe just even having, I'm not saying that, who knows, maybe you weren't going to make it, but like having a different person in your ear, or just being a bit more mature, because like, what, you're fucking 17?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You don't know this stuff at that age, but of like, okay, if I stop putting all the energy into the aggression and work on the 20%,
Yeah.
the hands, or whatever it is that I'm not good at, that's what's gonna make me make it. And I think that that's maybe something that applies not just to sport, but anything of like, you know, you can know you're good, and then you can go, all right, I'm not going to make it because I don't have that. It's like, no, where's that? What's that other 20% that I need to work on to make me beat everyone else? Yeah, I think for me, like that was, I know I can make nice pictures, right? Am I the best photographer? I'm trying to be, but there's some other people that I look at their work and I'm like, fuck, man. How do you think to do it like that? Like, that's incredible. But that 20% that I think will make me succeed is there's a lot of broke artists, right? Because they don't know the business side or even pay any attention to like, how do we make money with our craft? And that'll be the thing that allows me to go pro, per se, you know, or take it to the next level, because I have some natural ability, but I'd still have to work for it.
Yeah. It's interesting. You see that with fighters as well. You get some fighters that are naturally unbelievable. Like, you'll see them getting there, or you'll train with them and they'll just be on a whole other level. But they'll be missing that one thing. Maybe it's a marketing. Maybe it's not being able to build a brand for themselves on the social media, put themselves out there. Something that, you know, it's completely unrelated to their craft, what they're doing. But because they're missing out on that, they'll never be able to make it to the highest level.
You know, even on that, like we can put a lot of weight on social media. Like, yes, absolutely, it can be a huge lever to pull. But like, let's use something that maybe is even a bit more to the individual.
Yeah.
Of like, you can be an elite fighter, but if no one likes you, no manager or coach or person is going to be on your team. You know, if you're a very unlikable fucking person because you just think you're the shit, or you know you're really good, someone's probably not going to back you. Whereas if you can, maybe that's the bit that you're missing. Get better at having good relationship with people, and they can fucking take you places.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's really good.
I can see that with a lot of athletes. Like, I've met quite a lot of athletes over the different sort of fields that I've worked in, and like, usually, again, not always the case, but usually the ones that do make it, they're pretty good with people, you know. And then the ones that don't make it, they have this chip on their shoulder or whatever, like, oh, you know, I'm so good, but why does no one want to back me? Or this kind of thing, because you're a fuckhead.
Yeah. You see that so many times.
Yeah,
100%.
What do you want to be remembered for?
This is something that's shifted as I've grown up and I guess matured. If you asked me when I was 17, 18, or even before then when I was growing up in high school, I would have said I want to be remembered as a rugby player, or I want to be the best rugby player in the world, or the best at this, the best at that. I want to be famous, that type of stuff. That was the type of mentality that I had. But now that I think I've matured a little bit, I put less value on them sorts of things. And I think the one thing I want to, or the couple things I want to be remembered for now is I want to be someone that is remembered for, like, was always trying to do better and be better. Someone that if someone was talking about me, they would say, he was a great person. I learned a lot from him. Just have nice things to say. Not everybody, but just the general consensus was like I was a hard worker. I gave a lot of value. I helped a lot of people. And I was always trying to be better than what I was previously. That's what I would want to be remembered for now.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
I think that, like, that's also something too that's like, just those traits will lead to you being great or having a good influence on people and that kind of thing. Whereas people, you ask them that question, I want to be remembered for being famous, or I want to be remembered for being the best rugby player that's ever a thing, and which is fine. Like, but that probably will be a result of these other things, like all those things that you just said, will lead to that.
Yeah. And I love when I hear somebody talking about a friend or a family member and they're speaking very, very highly of them. I think there's something in that's very special. And I think to myself, how lucky is that person to have someone who thinks so highly of them? And I'm like, I hope that one day I can do that for somebody else.
I hope that people, when they speak about me, that's how they speak about me. You know, and like, not because like, oh, I'm a bad person, so hopefully they speak about me as good. Like, no, I hope that I conduct myself in such a way that when I am spoken about, it's always highly.
Yeah.
What are you currently working on that excites you, man? What's next?
Okay. A couple of things. Moved to Australia, actually. Today is 2-year anniversary of us moving to Australia.
Sick!
Yeah, which is awesome.
God's country.
Yeah. Long term, we'll say me and Abs want to stay here. We're going to be working, hopefully in the next few years, to get a permanent residency. We sort of see Australia as our home now. We've built so many friendships, connections, both like killing it with work. So many things have been built up here that they weren't even built up this well at home. That, you know, this is it for us. Like this is the thing that we'll want to stick with. So the first, I guess, the long term goal is that little things for me. Had a conversation with my coach last Tuesday and yesterday as well, actually, with regards to going professional. That's another thing. So we're looking for my next fight to be a professional bout. That's quite exciting.
Cool, man.
So I'm really
that's
excited about
sick.
that. Yeah. So that's it. I guess it's a big one, but I'm trying not to put too much thought into it. For me, I'm just trying to see it as, oh, it's just another fight. It's just exactly what I've been doing.
Absolutely, brother.
I train like a professional anyways. I train every day. I train twice a day sometimes. I train smart. I recover smart. I literally have all the other things going on that a good professional would have going on. It's just a natural continuation of what I've been doing. So not too much headspace being consumed of that. And the last one is I want to build this personal brand. I want to build myself up. I want to get myself out there. It's something that I've been chipping away at for years, just little by little, but haven't fully committed myself to it really until I would say this year. I have been a lot better. I've been a hell of a lot more consistent. I want to continue to grow that. I think me going professional is going to help with that. And I'm excited to see where it'll take me, what opportunities it'll create for me. And yeah, that's what I've got going on.
Okay. What, because that ties into the two, going professional and building your brand.
Yeah.
What do you have you got a plan? How are you going to do that moving forward?
Okay. I think the worst thing that someone can do when they've got a goal in mind is expect the absolute most from themselves. If I go to myself, oh, I'm going to post every single day for the next year to 2 years, it's really unrealistic, even for someone like me who I feel like I am quite high agency, and if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to get it done. I would rather set realistic goals and realistic expectations. So, and I say this to my clients as well, someone who comes in, they want to lose weight, I'm going to train every single day for 3 weeks in a row. It's like, fuck it, you're not going to do that, right? Just have some minimum standards for yourself, yeah? So my minimum standards for this, I'm going to get a YouTube video out there at least twice a month. Mm-hmm. I'm going to post on my Instagram at least 3 times a week. Mm-hmm. And that's it.
Dude, that is fucking amazing. That is so achievable.
Yeah.
And I totally agree with that approach too.
Yeah.
Like, before I ask, what then are you going to make the content about? But people go like, fuck yeah, I need to post every day. I'm going to do 3 YouTube videos. Like, dude, do you know how much fucking volume that is?
Yeah.
Or, because you're at the start of your journey, it's going to be lots and lots of posts of shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm all for doing lots of volume to get good at something, but also if you're posting and it's just absolute trash, it's not gonna like benefit your brand. Whereas approach like that, like, cool, there's still good volume.
Yeah.
And it gives you the ability to make stuff that's actually going to be valuable for your brand. I love that. Okay. And then what kind of stuff are you going to be making to further your brand?
I want to document my journey. I want to talk more about me and the things that I want to talk about. Previously, when it's been my Instagram, I've been talking about fitness, and we talked about this before. I've been doing fitness and personal training for so long. I sort of just feel like I'm like everybody else. Mm-hmm. I'm just repeating the same stuff that everybody else is talking about. There's no personality there, that I'm not getting me out there. Mm-hmm. Whereas with the stuff that I want to try the stuff that I'm going to be posting now, it's a little bit more egocentric. It's going to be me. It's going to be the stuff I want to talk about, the lessons that I learn throughout my life. I want to be able to write down and put it out there, especially on my YouTube. That's the one that I'm really big on at the minute. I feel like it's a more suited style for me, where I can just talk and edit to make it a little bit shorter. But I can talk about me. I can talk about my life. I can be a bit more personal, a bit more authentic about it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I want to convey. So the lessons I've learned throughout my life, documenting my journey, not trying to be an authority figure in any sense of way, because I don't feel like I'm there yet. It's more taking people along with me, and if they learn stuff along the way, perfect.
See, that will happen because so like a couple of points on that, right? If all you do is convey information, that's a commodity. Lots of people can convey information, or you just ask the fucking computer and it'll tell you what you want to know.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas if you can take information but package it in your personal experience, one, it gives it like only you can say that because you have lived that. 2, you have authority because this actually happened, or this is working for you, or I'm going to have authority because I'm going to try this thing. And then we'll come back in a week or however long it is, and then we'll see what happens, we'll learn from it all together. So I think that's a great way to approach it, is packaging things in you and getting people invested in you.
Yeah.
And then any kind of knowledge that you want to transfer, just putting it in the packaging of Louis,
Exactly. Yeah.
Not in the packaging of like information fucking smash you in the face with this kind of thing, because there's just, there's a lot of that out there, and that style, I still think that it is valuable, but relying as that is the only thing that you do now, because there's just been done together and there's so much information on the internet, you need something that segregates you, which is the personality and your story, which is the only thing that you can have. And you have a good story too, immigrant, going pro, then to have that totally change into fighting, and then all these different things. I think it's a great approach.
Yeah, and I think for me personally as well, there's nothing that I hate more than somebody who tries to be this authority figure and hasn't done the stuff in order to get themselves there. There's a big thing a big one that I'm about is the amount of gurus that you see out there on Instagram, especially mentors, all these types of people that are there telling you how to live your life, telling you how to do this, telling you how to do that, how to get rich, 10K a month, all that type of shit, right? But they aren't there themselves yet, or there's no story that you can follow. You can't really delve that deep into them because they've got nothing out there. They've got no personal branding. And it's just fake. And it's that fakeness that every time I see one of these people on the internet, every time I talk to one of these people, because you talk to these people as well, right? Like,
Yeah.
I can sense it straight away, and I hate it. It's such a negative thing in my brain. I absolutely hate it, and that's what I want to try and not be.
Yeah.
So there's that thing as well in my head around, like, anytime I put something out there, it's, okay, have I done the stuff that qualifies me to talk about this type of thing? And I'm huge on that one. I know so many people that are like that, and it's funny. Me and that mate I was telling you about, we always send each other stuff. But look at this idiot! Look at this idiot doing this, saying that he's gonna get 10K. He's gonna help me get 10K a month because as a personal trainer, the algorithm on Instagram just it gives you them ads. These people tailor their ads to you, and you'll just take one look and be like, "Fucking such bullshit." Yeah, such bullshit.
100%, man.
Yeah. Dude,
This was great.
I love this. This is excellent. I was really excited for it, and I was nervous for it as well because I've never done this type of thing, but I've really enjoyed it. It's been great, and it's actually helped me, like what was said before, like convey my thoughts out into speech, and I feel like I've got a lot from it. I feel like I've learned a lot from it. I feel like I'm gonna leave here feeling really G'd up and.
Dude, I don't care about them. I got a lot of
it.
You may not know, but this is a very selfish endeavor of I just want to learn from real brothers like this.
Yeah.
No, I got a lot of value from this conversation, dude.
Thanks, mate. I appreciate you.
Fuck yeah. Cheers, brother.
Let's do it. Yeah. Nice. Awesome, bro. Thank you.
Fucking great.
Yeah.
I do like that you can articulate your thoughts and have actually thought about some stuff.
Yeah.
You know?